Okay, so now let's look at putting together the iPad file, the Touch OSC file for a Sunday. One thing that you're going to want to start doing is creating a library of these song labels. And think of it much like if you're creating a lyric sheet or a chord chart. This is just going to be one more thing that you create whenever you're adding a song to your library. So let's say we wanted to introduce a new song, and we haven't done it yet, so we need to create this for the first time. So we're going to open up our song labels. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a save as. And I would recommend save a backup of all of these files somewhere that you're not regularly using, because I promise you it's happened so many times to me, and I'm actually pretty meticulous and careful about this, and it just happens where I'll come in here and maybe I'll start adding my song arrangement text and make all these changes and then accidentally hit save, and I've saved over my label template. Or I'm working in the control template, and I've deleted a bunch of pages that aren't needed, and I've pasted a bunch of labels over the top, and I hit save, and I'm like, oh, I just saved over my 24 song template, and I chopped out all but 4 pages, and it's a lot of work to have to rebuild. So saving a backup, highly recommended. Please do it. You will thank yourself later. One other quick thing to note, if you're a shortcut guy like I am, you might know that the Save As shortcut pretty universally is Command-Shift-S. Touch OSC, this is Mark 1, the first version, does not recognize that shortcut. So if you hit Command-Shift-S, it will perform a normal save command. So if you make all your changes and then you try to use the shortcut, you'll save over your template accidentally. So you're going to want to come up here before you type anything out in here and click the actual Save As icon. Now here's what I would really recommend is start a folder somewhere that's easily accessible. You can shortcut it and start creating a library of these things. So like for our purposes today, I've created a folder of the 3 songs we're going to be looking at. So I've already kind of created them. Let's say we were going to create one for What a Beautiful Name. Beautiful name. I like to put the artist or worship team. That's the version that we're covering, because there's several songs out there now that multiple teams have covered, and we might have both versions at some point. So I like to specify the version in the name, and we'll hit save. Now up here at this top, this is just for our reference only. And over here where it says text, that's where we're going to actually type in. So you can't type out here in the field, like you won't see a cursor show up. But if you tap on the field here and then come in down here, and you can add your text. So this is just a reference for me. Totally optional. You actually don't need to do it if it's not helpful to you. And then here I put in the BPM and the time signature of the song. And then through here, we're basically going to add our song arrangement. We usually do it with an intro, verse 1, chorus, and just continue on and typing out every major section that you would want to potentially have a locator in the track. So any section you might want to repeat, go back to. And really just a full overview of the song is really helpful to go through and do that. Let me show you really quickly what a finished one looks like, at least the way that I do it. Songs, here we go. Okay, let's look at the Joy. Okay, we're not going to save changes. Okay, so here's what a finished one could look like. Now, all of these chord notations and song notes are optional. It's helpful for me because I play an MD, and if I'm running tracks, it's helpful to have song notes on there as well. But this main text field is what we're after. So this is an example of what a full song might look like. You can arrange it however you like. I like to try and have verses over the top of each other, pre-chorus, chorus. Just some visual continuity is helpful for me. If you did want to do these these smaller text notes. Let's go back to What a Beautiful Name. And let's see what that would look like. So the way you would do that is you can use the Command and Paste shortcut. So Command C to copy, Command V paste. And we haven't seen any changes yet, but I can take this bottom and drag it up. And now I can see the second one. I usually take the outline off and move the font down to size 14. And now from here in this window, I can enter my song notes. So whatever the chord progression we want to add for the intro, we can do that. If you don't want to necessarily have chord charts, but you want to add like band dynamics, we can do the same thing and move it down or up. Put it wherever you would like. This is your template. And we can do like band in. So if you want like a full band intro. And then we can also copy that, paste. We don't have to redo all that process, move it over. And it can be like drums out. Whatever we kind of want to notate throughout the song that's helpful, we can add those things in. I'll also say when you're doing this a lot, you could write this down. It would be really, really helpful. I'm a little bit, admittedly, visually OCD. And so if like there's a label that's just a little bit off, it will drive me crazy. So I have these numbers memorized at this point, but what we're going to look up here is the X number. And that is the horizontal alignment position. So you can see if I just barely bump this to the left, that number goes down incrementally one at a time. And so the alignment for this is basically the first row, or the first column is at 15. Second column is at 217. Third is at 420. Fourth is at 622, and fifth is at 825. That's really helpful because if I wanted to add a notation all the way over here in this last one, say this was like the turnaround, and I wanted like, hey, lead comes back in here, rather than doing copy, paste, and then having to arrow all the way over. If you hold down shift, it goes over in increments of 10, so it's faster, but it's still a lot of tapping. I can just come in here and manually type 825, and it jumps straight over. So when you're working in this a lot, it's really helpful to kind of get those numbers in your head. It helps keep the layout nice and clean. And the positioning of these is designed to land exactly over the top of the buttons in the control template. That's why the alignment is a little bit important here. So that's kind of a look at how to create the song labels. So then what would it look like to put together a full set? So let's come back over to our template here. Let's go to the 8-song version. Let's go save as. Again, first step. We'll call this Sunday AM 7:20. Maybe it's the Nashville location. Okay. And then again, you can save this wherever you want. I like having continuity with where I'm saving things, so I usually save it in with the Ableton session just so that when our teams show up on Sunday, everything's right there. The file for the iPad, the session, the track session in Ableton is all in the same spot. So we'll save there. And then here, again, our top tabs here are all different songs. So tab 1 will be song 1. And we're going to come over here and tap on label. And now here's our text field, and we can type in The Joy. Song 2, we're going to do Mighty Name of Jesus. You can shorten whatever is going to make sense to you, and then Worthy. And let's say it's just a 3-song set, which means we don't need pages 4 through 8. So we can right click or control click and select Remove Page. And you can also reorder things. If the set list order changes, you can just move things left or right. Okay, so now we have our 3 songs here. I'm going to hit save, Command S. Now we're going to jump over to our song labels. And let's go the Joy. And we're going to click and drag to select all of these. Command C to copy. And then we're going to jump over to, here's our Sunday file that we just made. Paste. And song 1, all the labels over the appropriate buttons. I'm going to hit save. We're going to go over and repeat this for Mighty Name of Jesus. Okay, back over here. Mighty Name of Jesus. And this is another thing where I have some unused buttons, right? So there's nothing that I need these for. There's no labels, there's no song section. So I can select multiple. I can click one, hold down Shift is what allows you to select multiple. You can delete those out. Again, optional. I like to remove extra stuff that I don't need. So, and then we got worthy. Move the extra buttons. And there we go. So those are 3 songs for the set. That one's ready. We're going to set that aside. And this next video, we're going to look at building the Ableton session, and then we'll come back and map the Touch OSC file to the